I actually can't focus. I can't multitask right now. I don't know if like other people are like this, but like it's so hard. What was the question again? Hey guys, what's up? It's Natalya Amres, and you're here with PTW. Ajax. You guys know where that is? It's in the suburbs. It was okay. It was like, it's very sheltered over there. I think like, it's pretty boring. Not a lot going on. There's like not even a mall there. I moved to Toronto 3 years ago. Yeah, I definitely can't focus. I can't. I'm like not even, anyways. Yeah, I moved here about 3 years ago, but before that I was like coming down to Toronto like 24/7. I feel like shit now. Definitely like a super quiet and reserved child. So I just did like a lot of like drawing and stuff. Art, I was always like making things out of random stuff in the house. Pretty much made up my entire childhood. It was like honestly out of pure randomness. Like I was just like always making things and stuff like that. So I just randomly went to Walmart one day and got some beads and then just started making bracelets, and I was posting them on Facebook back then. And so people were asking to buy it and I was just selling them on Facebook, and that's how it started. Pure randomness. I've definitely completely stopped the jewelry. Like I keep my Instagram up just to have it there. Yeah, I've just been only solely focusing on the clothing now. It's just taken off a lot more than I expected it to actually. So that's where I'm gonna dedicate my time now. I think eventually, but probably not in like the next few years though. I definitely I still have a lot to grow with the clothing. So I'm trying to get that off the ground before I go back to the jewelry. About like 7 years, I think it's been. So I've been doing it for a while. I just was obviously just doing it for myself at the time. I went to school for a fashion business. So it deals with more of the retail aspect. We did have like one garment construction class, and I kind of regret saying this in one of my other interviews, but I did fail that class. It was the only class I failed. And it was the only class that had to do anything with like actually like constructing garments. Everything else was like logistics, product development, stuff like that. And then I failed that class and I was just like, wow, this is why I didn't take fashion design. And then now we're here. Well, I only had 2 video games growing up for the Nintendo 64. So it's kind of limited, but I only played Mario Kart and Kirby. Those are the only 2 games I had. Magic School Bus. The best show. And Art Attack. You guys remember that show? Lil Bow Wow. Oh my God. It's just so funny that you guys have a picture, like a huge picture in front of it. I was like, wow, what are the odds? Yeah, I was like, I remember like what age I was too. I was like 9 and he was 11 and I was like obsessed with him. Like I had posters of him everywhere. So embarrassing. Wonder what he's up to now. Honestly, I just like really like the idea of kind of like transforming something that's like already a cool piece into just something that you can never get anywhere else. That's the main thing that's like a big drive. Cause like before this, I was doing a lot of like thrifting and stuff like that. And my entire purpose for thrifting was obviously that it's all one of ones, right? You can't really get most of the things that you get at a thrift store anywhere else. So being able to like alter those pieces, it kind of just makes it like a one of one, and you're just like, you know, you'll have that piece forever and no one else will. Yeah, like I think other than the Migos outfits, the vest that I made for Savannah Ray out of the duffel bag, that's definitely one of my favorites for sure. Because like when she asked me to do it, I was just like, okay, I've seen this done, but I haven't actually done it myself. And so it was like quite the challenge, but I really was very pleased with the outcome. It went so well, like I couldn't have asked for a better day. But it was a big learning experience too, because like prior to that, I didn't really have a lot of experience talking in large groups of people, in front of large groups of people, especially about my own work. So it like took a lot of like practice to kind of get like, you know, my voice down to like, I was recording myself a lot, to be honest, in preparation, because I've never like really heard myself like my own voice like on the speaker, you know, practicing in preparation for it just to like be comfortable in front of the camera and all that stuff. But yeah, it was a really good experience. I do like it. I think it's like a good way to interact with people. And it definitely makes people feel like they're part of the experience as well. So yeah, I'm definitely going to keep doing it for as long as I'm in the industry. Yeah, it's cool. Like, I don't want to be cliche and just be like, they are one of one pieces, because a lot of other companies do the same thing. But in my case, I think that what I specifically do differently is I've kind of like merged into more of like a service with my brand rather than like a retail store. So like a lot of the things that I make are very much custom in the sense where like the client gets a lot of say in like what they want, and also the designs that I usually make are with their style in mind. Last summer I was introduced to a representative at Kappa, just out of pure randomness. Like, I made a Kappa piece for one of my friends that were performing, and they saw it, they liked it, so someone had introduced us. And then like right after that introduction, they were hit with the job to make custom suits for the tour for Migos. So they just like hit me up and were like, are you comfortable making menswear? And I'm just like, mm-hmm. And like prior to that, I actually never made menswear. And yeah, so thankfully they trusted me with the job, but that's kind of how it came about. It's like pure randomness. Not as much as I thought there would be. The only challenge was that like, because like their actual stylist was so busy, I couldn't really get a lot of her opinion on anything. So I kind of just had to like trust my gut instinct with like what would look good and like what people would like. And that was just the most difficult part, because obviously like you kind of have one chance with something like that. So like if they don't like it, or if it doesn't fit, or if there's something wrong, like your entire opportunity is pretty much like, it can be thrown away. Definitely not. I went to school for fashion to become a buyer. So this is definitely super far off, and I honestly like purposely didn't go for fashion design because I wasn't even remotely thinking about getting into that. I did want to have a business, so I knew that much about what I wanted to do. I just didn't know exactly what it would be, and I feel like this seems to be a good balance between like what I really like doing and like how I can actually make money from it. I know exactly what it is actually. It's so ironic, but talking. Like, I'm just not good at, I'm just like, anyone who knows me knows that I'm like extremely introverted. So just talking in front of people is like my worst fear. Like and like, yeah, I really have to like mentally prep myself for things and stuff like that. So that's probably the biggest thing. 100%. It happens all the time, but I've actually like last year I was like having like serious panic attacks because like of the stress and like the deadlines, and then like you don't know, you know, like you can't really go to someone and like one of your friends or something and be like, do you think that this is acceptable? It's like difficult to get people's opinions when like content can't be released and stuff like that. So like the writer's block is a little insane, but my cure to that is sleep on it, which helps a lot. I had the thought of kind of going into vintage beforehand, but I actually like the outcome of rework sportswear more. Like, I feel like it just looks more interesting. Like, there's so many like possibilities with it. There's so many different brands, like there's so many different styles you can make, and plus like making kind of like your average sportswear is like something that you would wear to like the gym or something can be something that you can wear to the club, you know? There's this artist called Blood Orange that I kind of recently just found out about. Are you guys nodding because you know who that is? Yeah. And they have a song called Saint, and I can't stop listening to it like every single day. Every single day. When I wake up, I just put on my Alexa and wake up to that song. It could have been Bow Wow, to be honest. Like, I've definitely have those, or Destiny's Child. Yeah, it's probably Bow Wow though, to be honest. No, I don't know. Like I've had that question asked in interviews before, and I actually like told them to delete it because like I don't ever want to speak things into existence that like, it's like, for example, like the people that have worn my things already, I didn't expect that to happen. So it's like, I just kind of want to see where things go. I don't want to say like, I want my piece on this person, you know? It's weird to do that. So I don't really have an answer for that. I mean, I would look for like the quality. Like before, when I was actually sourcing all my own stuff, biggest thing would be the quality. Obviously, like if there's like any rips or tears in it, Like those things are like really like perfect pieces are very hard to find when you're thrifting and when you're sourcing your own stuff. Like the fabric, like I'll just get like something that's like extra large instead of something small. So like most of my searching would happen in the menswear section. Almost never female, because yeah, like if you're gonna cut something up, you need like an excess amount of fabric for sure. Probably like those classic Air Force ones, the black ones, high tops. Literally elementary school, yeah. Yep. Wore them forever. Where do I go to the most? I'm such a foodie. Such an interesting question. I really often go to Borrow, I feel. Gusto, but I haven't been in a while like to either of those places because it's like winter shit. But Bisha, I mean, again, I haven't been there in a while, but honestly the food is just so good at Coast and at Akira Back. A lot of places. Oh, I just finished watching You. Oh my gosh. Ugh. It's so frustrating. I was like, how am I supposed to be alone? Like I literally called my friend on the last episode so they could stay on the phone with me while I watched it because I was so scared. And they were just like, Natalya, no, like man up and watch the show. It's just creepy because like that stuff is real. Like guys do that. So it's like that stuff can all happen in real life. Content, you know, like post your content. And like when you're sewing something, when you're doing anything, like post it because your followers will feel like they're part of the process. I think that's what got my followers to like really engage with what I was doing. That's where I made most of my, like all my sales actually have been through Instagram. So it helps a lot. I want to launch my own line, have something for my, you know, clients to actually purchase instead of me like, or them waiting on me to like drop one of ones every like once in a while, which basically never happens anymore because I've been so busy with like the collabs and stuff like that. So all my efforts have to go into that type of stuff. So I want to be able to still do those things, but also just have something consistent for my people to buy as well. Stay tuned, keep an eye out. Like what I want most people to pay attention to coming up for me is just the launch of my brand. That's what I'm looking forward to most, and that's what I'll be putting a lot of my effort into. So stay tuned.